What is up guys, Thunder Studios here, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Transformers Legacy Evolution Voyager class Twincast and Rewind. So Twincast here is a repaint of Legacy / Kingdom Blaster with a new head. So just taking a look at the head sculpt here. He is smiling in this one compared to like that more stoic expression that Blaster has. And it is nicely painted. There is a couple blemishes on my copy around the edges, but that's not really a huge deal. I really like the silver paint at the top for the crest section, and just the yellow paint for the head. That's a nice touch. Coming down to the shoulders here, you can see there's like a shiny metallic blue inside both of them, which looks really good as well. And down to the chest, there is a tiny scratch on mine. When I was trying to get him out the box, I accidentally scratched him, but it's not really noticeable when you look from far away. But you can see an Autobot logo there, and just most of the chest is painted. But then there is like a sort of a transparent brown plastic insert if you look inside, and there is some nice cassette details behind that. He also has some nice greebling details on his arms and throughout the whole figure, since this was like the Kingdom Legacy design instead of Studio Series 86, which is more plain. And he also has a trigger finger or a button pushing finger, so he can like push the buttons to release his cassette chest. He has some nice details here with some painted areas on the legs, some greeble here, and down to this area. This and this part are pretty much painted, entirely paint, and you can see on the side there's like some nice details like speakers and stuff on here. And to the back there is some more details, but that's mainly for alt mode. With details out the way, let's take a look at his two accessories. So the first one he comes with is this sniper, which looks really good. You can see it has a 5mm port there, and it just has quite a lot of greebling details and everything, and it does look really good. And you can just put him in his gripping hand, and that looks really good. As for his second accessory, it is another figure, which is Rewind. As I said in my Blaster review, if you have seen that, I really don't like the clear plastic on this guy. It doesn't really feel the greatest in hand, but I do really like the gold paint there, and the paint for the head, which is very tiny. You can't even see it, but there is paint there. I do like how there is sculpted in feet and hands, even though I would have liked like some proper areas without just these being sculpted in. But I do understand that for the transformation. I also would have liked some weapons that go on the side here, like his G1 version from the cartoon. He does look pretty good. And just quickly comparing him to Eject, they share the same mold, so they're pretty much identical, just color swapped. And you can see from the back of Eject here, mine is like slightly yellowed, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, that's it for Eject. And to quickly transform him up, you just rotate their head, fold that back here, take the arms, fold them into the sides here, do the same to the other side, and take the legs and just fold them in like this. And there you have the cassette mode. And it has some nice cassette details using the 5mm ports as like the windy things. Bringing it up to the chest here, you can just open the cassette door and just slot in Rewind. And he looks pretty good in there, and you can eject and you can transform and stuff. So I'm just gonna leave him in there for now. Let's move on to size comparisons. For size comparisons, here he is with Legacy Blaster, his mold mate, and they look pretty good. I do prefer the colors on this guy. They're just a lot more vibrant instead of the gray and black plastic on Blaster. The Takara Dramatic Capture Series Soundwave, he's a little bit shorter than Twincast over here, and I'm very excited to get Studio Series 86 Soundwave. So let me know in the comments if that's something you want to see. Here he is with Studio Series 86 Perceptor, Legacy Point Blank, and Legacy Crosscut, which is just about the standard deluxe height. With size comparisons out the way, let's move on to his articulation. He has a ball joint at the head, which can rotate, but only slightly down and up. Arms go out that far, full 360, bicep rotation, elbow bend, and the hands can sort of go out and inwards. Waist rotation, legs that can kick up that far. If you lift out the back skirt that far, and out to the side that far. Thigh rotation, knee bend, and some ankle tilt. So he isn't the most articulated figure I have, but he can pull off some pretty decent poses. Now with articulation out the way, let's move on to his transformation. have the transformation fully done. It's quite simple, but it's also very enjoyable to do. And I like how the legs fold into the sides, just like the cartoon, and the colors on this guy look pretty good here. I think I prefer Blaster's colors in alt mode, but these colors in robot mode. As you can see, there's some white here. There's actually some speaker details in there. Don't really like how you can see through all the way to the back here on these bits, but there is some nice buttons, play, pause, stop, and also on the cassette details, there's a play, pause, stop buttons there. There's some little knobs here, and just like all the buttons and stuff are outlined quite nicely. Not sure what these are, but I like the speaker details inside. And turning around, that is just the Greeble details. And he doesn't have parts that stick out that badly compared to Soundwave. Only this part slightly juts out, but that's not a huge deal. As for weapon storage, you just plug the gun onto the back here, in between these two batteries, and yeah, that's pretty simple weapon storage. And you can have Rewind just in the cassette deck, which looks pretty good from the front. So yeah, that's all I really have to say about the alt mode. Nothing too special, but it looks really accurate, and you can carry it by the handle, which is a nice inclusion. So let's wrap out and I'll give you my final thoughts. So that was my review for Twincast and Rewind. So what do I think of this figure? Overall, I really like the color scheme on this, and the mold is a really solid mold. If you haven't picked it up already, I would highly recommend it. But my figure does have a few loose joints. There's not really anything, like any major complaints I would have, other than like the handle kibble on the legs, but that's not really a huge deal in my opinion. This guy just feels solid, he looks solid, and it's nice that he comes with like an extra transformer that can fit in his chest. So yeah, if you can still find him, I'd recommend the pickup. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment what you thought of this review. Peace.